Today we are testing out the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour with Comfort Serum. I have not tried this one. This is brand new to me. I've heard that it is a good full coverage foundation, and it looks like you get 1 fluid ounce, and it is kind of like one of those dump tops, so there's no spout. Comes in a glass bottle, which is nice, and it says it has a broad spectrum SPF 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in. You guys know the deal. 1/2 of my face with a brush, the other half with a sponge. So you guys know I do have a lot of red discoloration, usually around my nose and on my cheeks, so fully aware I will probably need to do a second layer. It's not the easiest to blend in. I don't know, I feel like as I'm doing it, I'm trying to blend it in and it doesn't really want to super easily. And it says that it's supposed to be super full coverage. I don't know if I get that. I will say too that it doesn't feel like a really heavy foundation yet. Some you put on and you're just like, oh my gosh, Jesus, it feels so heavy. This doesn't really feel like that. And as you put it on your hand, it has almost like, not quite a moussey feeling, but like almost more of a moussey whipped rather than like a liquid. So it is rather thick as it kind of comes out. Yeah, I don't know if I would say that this is super full coverage, because as I'm looking, like even my freckles that are here and this blemish that I have right here, it's not covering it up. It's not extremely easy to get out of the bottle either. I wish that they had this in a pump, so it was like forcing it to come out, because as you're like, I'm trying so hard to like, and banging it against my hand to try and get product out, which isn't, you know, the best. So it does, I'm noticing it does kind of cling to some of my dry patches. I am noticing that. Usually my nose is the trouble spot. And as I'm looking at it, I would say that this one looks slightly better with the sponge, but not a lot. One thing I will say, I've had to use, like I don't usually have to use this much foundation of any foundation. It's usually 1, at most 2 pumps. And with this, I think I've dumped it out like 3 times on my hand now. And I still don't have like a ton of coverage. So I feel like you would go through this product really, really quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and try and even this out a little. And I really don't feel like it's done a very good job of covering up the red that I have around my nose and on my cheeks. It still looks like they're quite pink. But I'm afraid if I go in with like, you know, a 4th layer of this, that it's just gonna look super, super cakey. Go ahead and grab a concealer. This is the Shape Tape in Light. So I'm gonna do a little bit under my nose too. I don't know if you guys have a troublesome nose area like I do. Seems I have to work really hard to get foundation on my nose to stay. So that is on, I will say, first impressions of this foundation. It seems like you have to use a lot of it, and even when you do, it still doesn't like give you what they say is super full coverage. I know that it said that it's full coverage. I don't know if I believe that, because you know there's some foundations that I wear where you don't see these freckles or anything coming through, and I definitely see them, and I don't think it did a very good job around the nose and cheek area of hiding it and not having it be red. So I would say probably not the greatest. I will say overall that it feels nice on the skin, and it feels not like super drying. It still feels, you know, it feels good. It doesn't feel like super heavy. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a ton, even though I had to use a good 3 or 4 pumps on it. I don't like that it doesn't have a pump top and then you actually have to dump it out. So, and I do feel like you would go through this really, really quickly, because like I said, like even when you're kind of layering it up, just to get it even, yeah, it seems like you would need to use a lot of it. You could use this on the days when you don't have as much, you're not wearing as much makeup, you're doing that no makeup look, and you just want something that kind of is a little bit better than like a BB or CC or tinted moisturizer. But I don't think I would go full glam, full face with this, because it just doesn't cover enough for me. But that's my impression. I'm curious to hear your guys's. The Rimmel London Lasting Finish. I don't know about the whole 25-hour wear time. I will say, like, I'm not gonna wear my foundation for 25 hours. I don't know that many people that are, so I can't tell you if that claim is true, but I will say for me, it's okay, but it's probably a pass. So that's my opinion. I will see you guys here next Friday for another Foundation Friday First Impressions. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'll talk to you later. Bye!